Let's get to the Bee Digger starting lineup. Batting first is the center fielder Carson Rule. Pitcher Braxton Shelton at second. The shortstop is Nick Wellen. Ben Garrett, the cleanup hitter, is the third baseman. Alejandro Matos Garcia, the second baseman, it's fifth. Hunter Ludgate behind the plate bats sixth. The first baseman is Bryson Wooldridge. He bats seventh. Ivan Cardenas, the right fielder, bats eighth. Caden Schwint, the left fielder, is batting ninth. For the Bayfield Wolverines. Let's see, do we have a first baseman? I think I'm missing the first baseman. Anyway, second base is Jake Brandon. Over at third is Isaac Ross. The shortstop is Hub Brandon. Dylan Ludwig in left. The center fielder is Cade Carlson. Isaiah Coleman in right. Alec Demko behind the plate. And Hayden Farmers on the mound.
Leading off for the Bee Diggers.
Hoover is at first base, number 10.
Got it. Rhett Hoover. If I knew what I was doing, I might be able to get through the game, but I need help. All right, here we go with Carson Rule. He's thrown a couple of good games this year when he's been on the hill. Carson got some action, but it's Braxton Shelton making his first varsity start today. The right-hander Hayden Farmer, tall right-hander. Here's the wind and pitch, and that is a strike on the inside half. 0-1 here to Rule. 2-0 Bayfield, 2 unearned runs in the top of the first. Fastball is outside. The count goes to 1-1. Carson hitting 200. Here's the wind, 1-1. That's right there. Fastball at the knees on the outer half, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. A 2-run single from Ethan Morris has given Bayfield the early lead. And the offering, and that is a little bit high, I guess. You think you took too close of a pitch there, Ken?
Yeah, I think he took too close of a pitch. I thought that pitch looked like that dropped right in.
Yep, 2-2. Swung on line. That is going to be a base hit into left center field. Over the head of the shortstop, Hub Brandon. And nice adjustment by Carson Rule, and he took advantage of the break. And just like that, the Bee Diggers have matched the hit total of the Bayfield Wolverines. Now they would like to match perhaps the run total right now. It's been a monster season so far for the freshman Braxton Shelton, batting .500. Awaiting the pitch here. It is squaring to bunt, and he fouls it straight back. Yeah, didn't see him bunt much when he was younger. More of a just swing away. But you know what? Coach Odell, very much like Coach Langford in Fort Morgan, he wants all of his players to have the ability to bunt. You need small ball.
It's not a bad idea. And basically, your number 2 hitter, you're going to have him do that to where they can move that runner up. But you need your leadoff hitter to get on base. And Carson has the ability to do that. He's on first now. He had a nice base hit. That's good. Maybe that gets him off the snide, and that way we can get something going here in the bottom of the first inning.
And the 0-1 pitch to Braxton Shelton. Here it is, square to bunt again. That time he takes it, and Rule takes off for second to throw, and he's going to be in there. Oh, that's going to be a wild pitch. He didn't take off immediately.
How do you score that?
There, what you do here, what do you have him at first? There you go. So, anyway, to score, you click on the runner.
Got it. Click
on Rule himself, and there'll be an option for a wild. Oh, hold on. There's the wild pitch. There you go. No,
got it.
Yeah, it's an instructional type of game. But I didn't know how to do that when I was on there for the first one. All right, Shelton awaits the 1-1. 2-0 Bayfield, bottom of the first inning, the offering. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Ball 1, strike 2 to Braxton Shelton. And the pitch, and he swings and chops it foul up the third base side. Count moves to 1-2 as 2 balls go flying towards the pitcher. Oh, man. B&B Appliance can help you with all of your appliance needs. Stop in and see what they can do for you on Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. B&B Appliance.
Brush dugout picked up that foul ball that Braxton hit, threw it out to the pitcher. The umpire threw a ball back out to the pitcher, too, so he had 2 balls coming to him at the very same time.
Right, yeah. Here we go. It remains at 1-2 to the Bead Digger pitcher. Farmer looks back. And Hayden Farmer delivers. Breaking ball swung on and fouled up the third base side again. Just trying to keep that ball down on Shelton.
The right side is open up. The second baseman is edging into where Carson Rule is leading off.
The pitch down and away. Ball 2, strike 2. 2-0 Bayfield, bottom 1.
Braxton Shelton has shown propensity to be able to hit the opposite direction.
His only home run of the year went to right field in Yuma. 2-2 pitch, and he takes it outside. 3-2 to the freshman.
He had a double to right center field against Valley, and then last night in the 6th inning, he had a double to right center field as well.
And the payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle. A dive, it's a base hit into center field. Carson will round third, and the throw will come and be cut off. And it's an RBI single from Braxton Shelton. And the Bead Diggers now trail 2-1 in the bottom of the first inning. Oh, that's an excellent at bat.
Number 21, Nick Wellen.
He got his pitch down, and again, now he's over 500. Here is Nick Wellen, another strong hitter for the Bead Diggers. Now he's squaring the bunt, throw back to first, and that was close. Yeah, Braxton was leaning. Got to be very careful over there. It's only the first inning. You don't want to get overly aggressive with the base pass. Wellen hitting .519. And again, still nobody out with a 2-1 Bayfield lead, two-step lead, squaring the bunt again. Long pause by Farmer. I'd call time. Yeah. And that is on the outside corner for a strike. I think you take that long. If I'm a hitter, I call time there because it's hard for the hitter. Especially when you're squaring for that long. And throw back to first, and that time he is going to, the ball gets away up the right field side, and now taking off for second is Shelton, but he would have been picked off. So that'll be an error. Yeah, I think, Kevin, he would have been out.
He would have been out, yes.
Yeah, that was, the error is going to be on the first baseman. The first baseman, Hoover, so now no balls and one strike with a runner in scoring position again. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the backstop, and the count goes to 0-2. Well, yesterday's game against Alamosa, again, I only saw the line score, but it didn't look like it was a well-played game when you're looking at, and I didn't see Alamosa's numbers, but now Shelton will have a courtesy runner. Yeah, courtesy runner for the pitcher. And that's going to be Jace Krieger. But when you have 4 errors on one side, Alamosa walked 10 hitters. That seemed like a game that was all over the place. Wellen awaits the 0-2 pitch. Long pause by Farmer. Here it is. And that's in the dirt. Nice block over there by Alec Demko. Red Hoover at first, Jake Brandon at second, Isaac Ross the third baseman, Hub Brandon at short, Dylan Ludwig in left, Kate Carlson in center, Isaiah Coleman in right. Again, Demko behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pause by Farmer. 2-step lead for Krieger. And the offering. Swing and a miss. And are they going to have to throw to first? Yeah, I guess the ball was not called cleanly. And the strikeout recorded, throw back to second. Krieger right there. So Wellen strikes out, 1 down in the first inning. Yeah, that pitch had some sinking action to it. Here is Ben Garrett, who delivered a home run last night in the 2-run loss to Alamosa. Well, the Bead Diggers have rebounded from 2 losses this year to win their next game. They've got to do it again. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced into left field. That's a base hit. Probably hit too hard for Krieger to score, so he advances to third. But Ben Garrett continues to swing a big bat. Runners at the corners for Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Hondo also having a nice year, hitting .500. This is game number 8 for the Bee Diggers. For Bayfield, game number 10. They're 4-5. Rushes at 4-3. Runners at the corners. And the offering swung on and fouled right off the catcher. Demko, it's 0-1. The Bee Diggers will not get into the heart of Patriot League play for a little while, but it won't be far away. It will not be far away, especially once they get through Lyman and Ken Denver this week.
I think the following week, then they play Platte Valley, and that's going to be their first league game.
Yep, that's on the 18th. Throw back to first back at diving is Garrett. The inning began with a base hit from Rule. Then advanced to second to wild pitch, and Braxton Shelton drove him home. Long pause. And runner goes. Nope, it's a bluff. It's a strike. Fastball down the middle at the knees.
Like Garrett at first base was getting a good secondary lead. It looked like he was going, but it's just a good secondary lead.
Yeah, no. Wellen fooled me the other day. Same thing. 0-2. Fastball just a little bit up and away. And again, with a thin squad here, I think you want to extend Farmer's pitch count. He's got some good stuff on his fastball. And the pitch, runner goes that time. Swing and a miss. And the first base was occupied. He shouldn't have to throw through. Even if he was stealing, I think that they still, do they not qualify that as first base occupied? Or once you're stealing, is that an open base, Kevin? Because the strikeout is recorded. He did throw all the way through, so.
I think that becomes an open base, and so he does have to throw out in order to get him at first base.
All right, so the strikeout is recorded. 2 strikeouts in the bottom of the first inning. And again, he was fooled there. It looked like a changeup.
But now we've got runners at second and third with 2 out. See if we can get a hit here in order to be able to score both of these guys.
Bryson Wooldridge fouls that one straight back. No balls and 1 strike here for Wooldridge. Bryson hitting .217. And you know he wants to atone for the 2 errors he had in the top of the first. And he swings and misses at the breaking ball. Up in the zone, it's 0-2.
I think Farmer ended up taking a little bit off that pitch. It didn't have as much pace as what the first pitch did, and I think Bryson got out on his front foot.
And the offering, swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the first inning for Hayden Farmer. But the Bee Diggers do score a run. Brush is able to score the run on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. To the top of the second we go. After the break, it is Bayfield 2, Brush 1. On 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Kevin Fergus. Let's head to the second inning. Bayfield 2, Brush 1. The pitch swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the left. To the left-handed hitter for Bayfield to begin this second inning. That is Isaac Ross. 3 errors combined already in this game. Swing and a miss on a bender. No balls and 2 strikes. Talk about a change of pace there by Shelton. Looking first strikeout, the offering. Swing and a miss. Boy, that was a sweeping curveball. Started on the outer half of the plate and then tied up Ross. And there's 1 down. He struck him out on 3 pitches.
I had that as Hoover that just struck out the first baseman. Now I've got Ross up at bat, number 4.
Okay, so I got my lineup is out of order, and that's taken for a strike. All right, now I got to undo.
So I crisscrossed you up.
And the pitch is a strike. So here is Ross. All right, let's switch things around. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And that is a called strike 3 on a breaking ball in the outside corner. Boy, Braxton Shelton in total control in the second.
Now batting right fielder number 6, Isaiah Coleman.
He has thrown 6 pitches, all strikes. And there's 2 down. And the pitch is a strike there to Isaiah Coleman. Hitting from the right side. He struck out 2 left-handed hitters very easily.
I think Braxton just said, you know what, I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to be aggressive and I'm going to go right at him. and that's exactly what he's done.
He threw another fastball. Oh, he might be able to throw the minimum here. 8 pitches, 8 strikes. 0-2 to Coleman. The offering swung on and fouled off to the right. You know that he wanted that on just 9 pitches, but he got a piece of it. By the way, our Sterling Brush game, that'll be on 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com. This is our only game today on 10-10. The pitch. That is a called strike 3 and a breaking ball, and Braxton Shelton strikes out the side in order in the second. Can't do any better than that. An inning and a half complete in Brush. It's Bayfield 2, Brush 1 on 10-10 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's move to the bottom of the second inning. The Beat Diggers trail the Bayfield Wolverines 2-1. I'm John Beltran with the head coach the last 4 years of this program, Kevin Fergus. And that involved 4 playoff years, 3 of those years winning at least one playoff game. And the first year going to the state championship game against Eaton. Man, that 2015 season was fun.
That 2015 season was, I look back on that with very fond memory, and that was a good group of kids to work with, very special. And the thing is, they should have been there the year before, and maybe even the year before that, to where they would have been competing right for that state championship.
Yeah, I mean, they did get to the state tournament in 2013, but they were only 1-2 that year. And then, of course, they got knocked off in the first round of the playoffs, as you mentioned there, against St. Mary's in 2014. Here is Ludgate. Hunter Ludgate for Brush, right-handed hitter. 7, 8, and 9 for the Beat Diggers. The pitch, and that is a little bit low. Took something off of that one. 1 ball and no strikes. Hunter hitting .286 going into this at bat. That's a fastball for a strike on the inner half. That was unofficially pitch number 27 for Hayden Farmer. Here's the wine and offering. That is a fastball, but inside. Ball 2, strike 1. It could be 20 degrees cooler, and I think Ludgate will still be in short sleeves. Fastball inside. Those catchers, they're tough. They're not gonna they're not gonna give away anything. Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say. 3-1, and that's in the dirt, and it's a walk to Ludgate to begin the bottom of the second inning. Well, the first Beat Digger run of the game on Braxton Shelton's RBI single, brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants. And I'm looking for number 11, that courtesy runner for Brush. Oh, Hunter Dunn, excuse me. Hunter Dunn. Yeah, I've had him on the roster the whole time. I'm getting numerically blind. So here we go with the number 8 hitter. Okay.
David Wolf.
Yep. Okay, so Wolf is in the lineup. All right, David awaits the pitch. Throw back to first. So, we're already getting... There we go. Well, no wonder we've had close plays to first, if that's the case. The stretch. And square in the I don't know what happened there. It almost looked like Farmer started his windup or his delivery and then kind of slowed it down for some reason. And it's a ball.
I think he was probably thinking of going to first base on a pickoff.
Yeah, that was very awkward.
And then his stride was completely off.
1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch squaring to bunt. And the ball's bunted up the first base side and foul. And Wolf should have just taken that because that ball was going to hit him. Now the count is level at 1-1. There's no way. I mean, to lay that bunt down. But if he didn't have the bat to protect himself, he would have been hit by the pitch because that was right in on him. And that's a tough one, and that especially when you're squaring the bunt.
And that might have been in an unprotected part of his body.
Yeah. No, you can't blame him. I mean, you got to stay healthy. You don't want to get injured with your very first varsity start. And the 1-1 pitch squaring to bunt. And that one lays out beautifully up the first base side.
He's going to have trouble getting there.
Oh, but he got him. Picked up by the pitcher, barehanded by Farmer, and the out is recorded. But it's a successful sacrifice, 1-3.
Now batting left fielder, number 14, Hayden Schwinn.
Very athletic play there by Hayden Farmer. But again, advancing to second. And see, that one, there's a thing for a sacrifice button, too. I don't know if you saw that, Kevin. But it's all right.
I didn't. I just recorded it 1-3.
Oh, that's fine.
The line score will be off.
Right. No, it'll be good. Caden Schwint takes it down and in. Yeah, for instance, I'll show you real quick. When you click on just out, it'll give you sacrifice button.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
You can go back on that. All right, 1 ball and no strikes. 2-1 Bayfield. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Again, that took me 3 years to learn. The pitch. That's a fastball for a strike. Thigh high. Down the middle, it's 1-1.
Well, you showed me in my second game out, but it might take me another 2 years before I figure that out.
No, you're much smarter than I am. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. And that's up and in with a fastball. Ball 2, strike 1 to Caden Schwint, the number 9 hitter for the Bay Diggers. He's hitting 200. Only a freshman.
You know, the one thing I noticed with Caden is he has 5 RBIs.
Yeah, no, he had a nice game earlier this week against Valley, squaring to bunt, and he lays it down out in front of the plate, fielded by the pitcher. Second baseman has to cover, throw to third. That'll be late. Well, that scored a fielder's choice, no base hit. There I go, in play, fielder's choice, and just the pitcher. Yeah, in play. Fielder's choice, and just the pitcher. Next. And that's, well, you can go there, but he didn't get him. And there you go. First and third. Yeah, because the second baseman was going over to cover. Carson Rule singled and scored on Braxton Shelton's hit the pitch. Upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, I told you, those fielder's choices, those are the ones that. Then it becomes automatic where you find it on the eye score. First and third, 1 out. B-Diggers threatening again in the bottom of the second inning. Runner goes to second. Swung on, grounded. On a beautiful hit and run for a base hit to left center. Dunn will score. To third is going to be Caden Schwent. An RBI single for Carson Rule. And the B-Diggers have tied the game at 2 in the bottom of the second inning.
Now batting pitcher, number 18, Braxton Shelton.
Kevin, could that have been executed any better?
Oh, that was perfect. I mean, I was just thinking right before that pitch, you got Schwinn at first. He's going to take off because he's got pretty good speed. And Carson hit it just right where the shortstop was because he was going to cover the bag. And we were able to move Schwinn up to third base. And Carson's on at first.
Here is Shelton. And the offering. And that changeup is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Looking for their first lead of the game after Bayfield tallied 2 unearned runs in the first inning. Runners take their leads. Long pause by Farmer in the offering, and that's inside with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Schwint at third, Rule at first. The B-Diggers have tallied a run in each of the first 2 innings.
Rush has got Hayden Farmer up to 40 pitches on the game.
Runner goes, swung on and popped foul and out of play off to the right. The count moves to 2-1. B-Diggers will have another game today. Once again, if you're listening right now, 4:30, and that'll be on 105.7 KPMX. And you can pick that up out here in Brush and kpmx.com on the web, 105.7 FM and kpmx.com. Chris Bull-Brown will be on the call. 2-1. In the dirt, runner goes. It'll be an easy steal there for Rule. Yes, I might be joining him. We'll see how the schedule goes. Bull is the voice of the Sterling Tigers on KPMX. 3 balls and 1 strike to Shelton, 2 in scoring position. He already has an RBI in this game.
Gotcha.
Out of the windup and the pitch. Swung on, laced into left field for a base hit. Schwint will score. Carson Rule's going to be held up at third. It's the second RBI for Braxton Shelton. Second consecutive run-scoring single, and the B-Diggers lead 3-2.
Now batting shortstop number 21, Nick Wellen.
You know, there are freshmen that start at this level, and it takes them a while to develop, but Braxton's already there because he's played with so many older players. that this level of baseball is not anything unfamiliar to him. Right, you got him first and third.
Okay, but I needed to put the courtesy runner in.
Oh, there you go, courtesy, and then. All right, that should be Kyle Wellen, the pitch to Nick Wellen, and that's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, that's Kyle Wellen at first. That was pitch number 45 unofficially, and that's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. So the Bee Diggers have 2 across in the frame, and they're up 3-2. 1-1. Throw back to first, and back in standing is Wellen. Cargill Meat Solutions works with the community to make sure there are jobs for the members of the communities they're in. Cargill Meat Solutions. Runners at the corners. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 2 across, bottom 2. 3-2 brush. Pitch to Wellen. And the breaking ball's inside. Boy, pretty good pitch there, but it just missed the corner. 2-1. On deck is Ben Garrett. He had a base hit his first time up.
Brush has got themselves in good counts in order to be able to run and be able to do some hit and runs.
Fastball is inside.
They've executed perfectly today, twice this inning.
Oh, that hit and run was the thing of beauty. I mean, what a nice job that was by Carson Rule hitting it through the left side. 3-1 pitch, runner goes, and that's taken for a strike. Throw to second, and the ball gets into center field. So a run's going to score. Here comes Rule, and to third is Kyle Wellen. Boy, we're going to score that on the catcher there, but I think that should have been caught by one of the infielders, at least on a bounce. So first you record the steal after the strike, and Rule scores in the air. That's where it gets a little bit more. And now the Bee Diggers lead 4-2. Yeah, I got that. I put.
Okay,
you're good to go. You're good to go. 4-2. The Bee Diggers with 3 across. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. It's picked up by Demko. Throw to first and Wellen retired. Runner breaks for the plate. The slide. And Wellen's in there. So the strikeout is recorded. And the Bee Diggers now lead 5-2. Yeah, I'll help you out there in a second. 5-2 brush.
Now batting third baseman, number 15.
Boy, that's aggressive base running. Yeah, he strikes out, or Nick Wellen struck out. Here we go with Ben Garrett. And the offering. Fastball is a strike. Yep.
2 outs,
You're
5-2.
good. You're good.
I might have missed a pitch or two.
Who cares? We got the score right. Swung on. That ball is lifted down the left field side. There should be a play along the line now. Oh, it's a base hit. Boy, what happened there? I mean, that was, and now Ben Garrett's going to get a double out of that. Dylan Ludwig, I guess, didn't see the ball, but it looked like it had plenty of elevation, and all of a sudden it dropped in. Wow. All right, I'm not sure what happened there. I know the wind is starting to whip in a little bit, but by the way he was playing that baseball, it looked like it was going to be an easy catch.
I think he was looking up in the sun, and I think that's what
slowed
him up, and then the ball ended up dropping, and then he ended up seeing where it ended up being. Yeah. And
Hondo struck out his first time up, and the offering. Swing and a miss. He overswung at that pitch, and he swung well over the top of that with no balls and 1 strike. The Bee Diggers have scored 4 in the frame, but that's a straight double, a gift double for Ben Garrett, who's now 2 for 2. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Let's see. Yeah, we have, wow, okay, we're up to 54, only 2 shy, 54 pitches. As long as you're in the area, that's all that counts.
I think I missed a pitch on Nick Wellen. I thought it was ball 4. I thought he was going to first base, and then the umpire called it a strike to make it a 3-2 count.
Foul ball on a pitch up in the zone.
So I know that's where one of them I missed.
Yeah, trust me, I don't think I've done this perfect for 7 or 8 years. I'm sure I've missed a pitch or two. That's why I use the word unofficially, the pitch count. 0-2 to Hondo with a man at second, 4 across in the second. And the offering in the dirt. Nice take there by Hondo. Wasn't going to fall for that one. That's what he struck out on the first time.
Catcher Dimko for Bayfield was able to move to his left and be able to keep that ball in front of him. Otherwise, it would have come to the screen, and Garrett would have been able to move up to third base.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And the offering swung on and line towards right center field. Got some carry to it. Now twisting to his left and making the catch is Coleman. Wow, he nearly got turned around, but was able to pull in the line drive. And that ends the bottom of the second inning. For the Bee Diggers, they score 4 runs on 3 hits. There was a Bayfield error and a man left. We'll head to the third after the break. Kevin Fergus will take you through the next 2 innings. It is Brush 5, Bayfield 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Welcome you back to Brush Baseball. Brush is leading 5-2 over the visiting team Bayfield Wolverines. And we have Alex Dimko, the first batter, coming up the bat for Bayfield. Shelton on the mound. First pitch, just a little bit outside, ball 1. He didn't throw a ball last inning, John.
No, 10 pitches, 10 strikes.
Second pitch to Dimko was up in the zone, and Dimko didn't offer at it. Dimko's hitting from the left side of the plate. Swing and a miss. Ludgate, catcher for Brush, hauls it into his glove. Counts 2 balls, 1 strike. That was a nice pitch. Must have been just a tad inside. Count 3-1. Fouled back to the left side. You know, the one thing I see from Braxton Shelton as he's on the mound is he's aggressive. And that's one thing that you want. You want to be able to attack. And if you get ahead in the count, it gives your team to where they're on their toes, and they're more apt to be able to make the plays. And Braxton tried to throw a backdoor curveball, but it was just a little bit outside to the left-handed batter, Dimko, and he's on at first base. Brings up Hayden Farmer, the pitcher for Bayfield.
Remember, these first 2 hitters in the lineup reached on errors in the first inning. That's why Bayfield's got 2 runs.
Braxton throws a strike at the knees.
And he keeps the ball down, just like he did right there. Likes to keep the ball down.
Pitch. Farmer saw that clear, and he ended up fouling that off. Line drive right down the left field line, but it was foul. Count 0-2 to Hayden Farmer.
Well, Braxton, I don't think had a strikeout in the first inning, but struck out the side in the second, so he's looking for what they call in baseball that out pitch.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he throws him a little bit of a change right here. Curveball, perfect. And Farmer swings, and he misses.
Second baseman, number 3.
For the first out.
Brandon.
Dimko stays at first base, and that brings up Brandon.
Yeah, Jake Brandon had that sac bunt that advanced the runners to second and third before they were able to score.
Braxton Shelton looks over at first base just to keep Dimko a little bit closer to the bag. Gives a toss to Bryson Wooldridge, the first baseman.
How about a double play, Kevin?
Double play would work great. You're going to have to show me how to score it on iScore, but
yeah.
We'll be just fine. Oh, nice pitch. I would say that Braxton Shelton's deuce is working really good today. And here we've got the number 3 hitter in the lineup, and he had him stepping out of the box and dropped in for a strike. 0-1. Ball outside. Count 1-1 with 1 out. Brush has their outfield set up with Caden Schwint in left, Carson Rule in center, and David Wolf in right.
That's a straight-up steal there for Demko off the ball. So now it's 2-1. And Bayfield trailing 5-2. The Bee Diggers have scored 5 unanswered runs. Oh, another bender. Got him in there, 2-2. You caught up there, Kevin? All right,
Yeah, I caught up here, 2-2. It just
I'll help you out.
Whenever they get pass ball, wild pitch, stolen base, I need to catch up on that.
Yeah, we're using automated technology. Yep, little base hit into center there. Brandon was fisted, but he got enough to muscle it out there. And now
got it past Nick Wellen at the shortstop. He made a good, valiant effort in order to try to be able to keep that ball in front of him, but it just was enough to his left that it got into center field.
Yeah, so first and third. Go ahead. I'll let you score that. I'll set you up for the next hitter. Ethan Morris will now step in. And he had the 2-run single. Yeah, there you go.
And that ball's hit to Wellen's left, and he attempts to pick up that slow-rolling grounder, and it's a single. I don't think he would have been able to throw the guy out.
Yeah, that's a base hit all the way. So now it's 5-3 Bayfield as a run score. Still only 1 out, and they're trying to measure out Braxton here in the third inning.
Braxton's having a little bit more difficulty with this top of the order as opposed to the bottom of the order. It seemed like he commanded the zone against the bottom 3 or 4 hitters, and here at the top of the batting order, it seems like they're working him a little bit tougher for him to be able to get through these guys.
Yep, and Hub Brandon is now ahead in the count.
Counts 2-0 to brother Brandon. Foul ball, straight back. 2-1 with an out. We got runners at first and second for Bayfield.
There's a little, I'll show you here too. There's something called quick. When you hit in play, you go quick and it gives you ground outs, double plays. That that accelerates the process. Anything to make it easier. All right, we got still 1 down here in the third. Brush is up by 2 though.
Ball a little bit low and outside to the catcher Ludgate. Behind the plate, the battery is Braxton Shelton and Hunter Ludgate for Brush.
3-1 to Hub Brandon.
Hub Brandon hits the ball to right field, line drive.
Run's going to score. Now the throw to second. Now the trail runner breaks for the plate. The tag, and out by a mile is going to be Morris. Yeah, that's got a lot of moving pieces in there. That has
a lot of moving pieces.
Yep, so an RBI single there for Brandon to right field. So that scores the first runner. Then the second runner is thrown out at the plate. And that'll go 9-2 as Ludgate applies the tag.
Was slow developing. Davin Wolf from right field got the ball in, but the runner had scored. And but they were still able to get the trailing runner at the plate out, and Hub Brandon ended up moving up to second base on the throw. Counts 1-0. Hub Brandon takes off from second, goes to third. Ludgate's throw to Ben Garrett at third base, just a little bit late. Safe. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nice pitch by Braxton.
Yep, still down on the count, though.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And a ball hit by Carlson out to left field to Caden Schwint. He makes a dive for the play, misses it, and the ball rolls to the fence.
That's going to score the third run of the inning, too, for Bayfield, and the game is tied at 5 now all of a sudden. So, 1 inning to the next has changed completely off that double here from Cade Carlson.
First baseman, number 10, Rhett Hoover.
So here's Rhett Hoover. Yeah, you got it. Advanced by batter. There you go. Oh, yeah, a double. It's all right. That's good enough. You're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, Hoover, first time up. Again, this is your maiden voyage, Kevin. That's why it's tough. It's with a strikeout. But it all works in concert. with the play-by-play and the, let's see, apparently, I don't know, Braxton had something he had to get back to the head coach, Tom Odell.
I think it was his glasses.
All right, so it's a brand-new ball game. Brush trailed 2-0, then scored 5 unanswered runs, but now it's 5-5.
Hoover, the first baseman, is hit from the left side. Braxton falls behind the count, 1 ball, no strike. Ball hit to Maltos Garcia at second, gets it over to Wooldridge at first for the third out.
There you go. And then here's the way to wrap. Yep, there you go. 4-3. And, all right, I'll take us into the break here, Kevin. Here we go. After 2.5 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits in the third for Bayfield. No errors and a man left. So we head to the bottom of the third. Bayfield 5, Brush 5 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com.
Welcome you back to Sunset Field in Brush on Saturday, April 6th. The score is 5-5 between Brush and Bayfield. Bryson Wooldridge will be the batter as he comes up to bat in the bottom of the third inning. And Bryson flails at the first pitch. The offering from Hayden Farmer, the pitcher for Bayfield, counts 0-1.
Threw him an off-speed pitch. Same business right there. That was in the dirt. And now it's 0-2, and now Wooldridge is in a significant hole here in the bottom of the third.
There's times where Bryson is on and he's swinging the bat really good, but right now it just seems like he's just a little bit out of sync. And there's a third pitch that he swings at, and the catcher drops it, but he picks it up and throws it to first base for the first out. How many pitches do you have for Farmer? 58?
That was 60 right there.
You have 60? Okay.
60 pitches.
That brings up Hunter Ludgate to the plate, number 7 in the lineup.
I think the one concern for Brush is cutting down the strikeouts. They struck out 8 times last night, and they're racking them up right now.
Hunter walked his first time up. That's a ball high from Farmer to Ludgate.
That's the 5th strikeout for Hayden Farmer.
Around the outfield for Bayfield is Ludwig, Carlson, and Coleman. Around the infield from third to first is Ross at third, Brandon at short. His brother Brandon at second, and Hoover at first. And the battery for Bayfield is Farmer with Dimko behind the plate. Hunter fouls that back to the screen. Counts 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch from Farmer is down low. Ludgate lets it go by. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I took something off of that pitch. And again, Hunter right on top. He's owning that plate.
Strike on the outside corner. That's the 4th pitch of this at bat for Hunter. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
5-5, bottom 3. Game has been up and down for both teams.
Throws a spinner, but pretty much stays inside to Hunter. Full count. 6th pitch of the at-bat, and the ball's up high. Hunter takes a second walk for the day. Goes to first base, and we'll have a courtesy runner. Looks like Hunter Dunn will be the courtesy runner for Hunter Ludgate.
Second walk issued there by Farmer. Well, David had a very nice sacrifice bunt his first time up. In fact, he could have almost beat it out, but a nice athletic play by Farmer.
Yeah, he came off the mound and picked that ball up really well and was able to get it to first base. It didn't look like he was going to be able to get there, but he did, and this time basically same situation. David comes up with a runner at first base.
Yep.
Second pitch of the at-bat, and David swings through the pitch.
And it took a fastball, then that one was down in the zone, so he's down 0-2 with a man at first and 1 down here in the third.
Farmer gets a sign, the pitch. Strike 3, caught looking.
That's a painted the outside corner on Wolf. 6 strikeouts now for Hayden Farmer.
Left fielder, number 14, Caden Schwint.
2 outs for Brush. Hunter Dunn, the courtesy runner at first base. Caden Schwint, the batter, number 9 in the order. And Farmer spins a curveball to Caden Schwint. Counts 0-1, 2 outs. Score is 5-5. You know, as many runs as was scored yesterday, 20 in the first game, 21 in the second game. I just anticipate there's going to be that many runs scored just about all day today from each one of these teams as they play each other as we move from morning till night. We've got 4 ball games today.
Yeah. That pitch was high, so it's 1-1 now to Schwint.
Schwint chases a pitch up in the zone. Down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I
2
don't
outs.
think that's his alley. I've seen him swing at the high pitch. He's much better at the mid to lower pitch than the pitch up in the zone.
Pitch from Farmer. It's up in the zone. Same spot that last pitch was, but
Yeah, he laid off nicely. If it gets to 3-2, the runner will take off from first, but it's only 2-2 right now.
2-2. 2 outs. Schwint fouls that down the left field line grounder. That'll get up next to the fence.
Transwest believes that customers are number one. Check out their selection online or just stop by one of their dealerships in Fort Morgan or Sterling today. Transwest. I'm playing the role of Evan James here when you're on with him for some games this year.
We look forward to that. I know Evan's,
Oh, yeah.
Evan's excited about just being able to be here, to be able to learn from the master, John Beltran.
No, he called a couple of batters yesterday in the Fort Morgan game that they defeated Frederick 10-0. So here we go with the 2-2.
Farmer throws a curveball, and Schwint gets out on his front foot, strikes out swinging for the 3rd out. Brush for the inning had no runs on no hits, no errors from Bayfield, and they left 1 runner on the base. We go to break.
Bayfield 5, Brush 5 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Brush beat Digger Baseball on KSIR 1010 and KSIR.com. It's 10 o'clock, and Braxton Shelton starts Ross off with a pitch low in the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Ross hits the ball to Maltos Garcia up the middle, but he had the range a little bit far to his right, and it was going to be a tough play to be able to get to him out at first base. So Ross ends up with a base hit.
Number 6.
Yeah, that's their 6th hit.
Coleman.
Coleman struck out his first time up.
And he pops up, and Ludgate is able to get underneath that. Coleman was trying to sacrifice, but he popped the pitch, and Ludgate was able to get underneath it in order to corral it.
A nice
there
job.
There was 3 guys right there. Ludgate, Braxton Shelton, and as well as Ben Garrett.
Yeah,
got 1 out, runner on first. Ball is fouled back.
Boy, you know, my car has not been hit in 20-some-odd years, and that one came fairly close, but not that close. 0-1 here to Demko, who's the leadoff hitter in this lineup. He's officially 0 for 1. Well, look at that one flared out towards Wellen. He dives, and he's not going to make that play. But the throw to second, they get the force. Okay, you know that scored, Kevin. 6, fielder's choice, 6.
6-5 to 4.
That is correct.
For 1 out.
That ball was jammed out in the air, a little flare towards Wellen. But they do get the force at second. So there you go with the force. Yeah, let me score it. Let's get to Hayden Farmer. No, fielder's choice first. Let me go back.
Okay.
Fielder's choice first. Okay, so it's in play. Fielder's choice.
Set the play here.
Yeah.
Bayfield runner at first base. Farmer
At
the plate. First pitch from Braxton Shelton is a ball to Farmer. Farmer's been seeing the ball really well, and he's got some pretty good strokes on Braxton Shelton. But the ball's hit from Farmer out to left field to Schwint. And today the wind's blowing in from left field, and that held the ball up enough for Schwint in order to be able to get underneath the ball in order to haul it in for the 3rd out. So for the inning, the score is 5 Brush and Bayfield 5.
We'll be back here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Bottom of 4 for the Brush Beat Diggers. We welcome you back to Sunset Field. We have the top of the order for Brush coming up the plate, Carson Rule. We've got a 5-5 score. We look forward to being able to broadcast not only the rest of this ball game, but just being able to observe baseball in Brush all afternoon. Brush does play this afternoon against Sterling, approximately 4:30, and that'll be on 105.7 KPMX, and that'll be brought by Bull Brom.
It'll be on the web, too, at kpmx.com. So, again, I'm going to see if I can join him for a couple of innings.
Carson Rule's been up. This is his third time. He has 2 singles. Swings at the first pitch. His 2 singles. His first one was a nice line drive to left field, and the second time up was a hit and run that he hit it in the spot of the vacating shortstop. The pitch fouled off. Rule falls behind the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Get a delicious treat, breakfast or lunch option to make the day better. Willow Coffee and Bake Shop, 921 Edison Street in Brush.
The pitch. Just a little bit outside.
That was definitely a ball, but well located. He had Carson thinking, but Carson's a pretty disciplined hitter. So disciplined that he took a pitch in his first at-bat that was a ball, even though it was very close.
Pitch from Farmer to Rule, spins it, and just drops through the zone. Strike 3, looking for Carson Rule. Carson's 2 for 3 for the day. He'll go to the dugout, think about that, come back, and put together a good at-bat next time up. Brings up Braxton Shelton. Braxton Shelton is 2 for 2 as well today.
Well, I don't think he anticipated a 1-2 curveball, and that's what got him. I think Carson was thinking that was a fastball. Once it broke, he had no chance.
The pitch from Farmer, low. 1 ball, no strikes to Braxton Shelton.
Braxton is 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. But this time he's up there without anybody on base.
Shelton is impressed so far. I'm thoroughly excited to be able to see how he ends up playing out the rest of this year. 1 ball, 1 strike to Braxton. The pitch from Farmer up in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan.
Pitch from Farmer to Shelton. He grounds to shortstop. Brandon over to the first baseman Hoover for the out. 2 outs.
Now to bat.
Well, but he put it on the ground. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to force 2 plays, and that ball was dug out nicely by Brandon because that was a low throw. Or dug out by the first baseman, as you mentioned, Hoover. A low throw there by Brandon, but there's 2 down now and the base is empty.
Farmer, as he throws, he loses his footing on the mound.
Like the
ball still dropped in for strike.
Yep. It's been a tough one for Nick Wellen so far. He's having a very good season, but 0 for 2 in this game with a couple of strikeouts.
First time up, he had a drop strike and was thrown out at first base.
Well, I did a game on Wednesday. When you get a good hitter, or it was on Tuesday in Frederick. Actually, it was Thursday. What am I doing, John? It was Thursday. J.P. Hamer, their leadoff hitter, a strong kid like Nick Wellen, struck out his first 2 times up. Then he followed that with a triple and a home run. So sometimes when you nail down a hitter like that, especially with Wellen, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a base hit right here because it's hard to really pin these guys down 3 times in a row. But he is down on the count at 0-1.
Catcher Alex Dimko went out in order to make sure his pitcher Hayden Farmer was okay. Appears to be, and throws the pitch to Wellen. Wellen fouls it off down the left field side towards the dugout. So Wellen's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs for Brush in the bottom of the 4th inning. Wellen sees the next pitch, and it drops in the zone, and he fouls it off back to the right.
Yeah, he waited till the last possible minute to make sure that it was in a strike zone. Nice job by Nick.
And Farmer comes back with another curveball, and the curveball drops in on the inside corner of the plate, and Welland doesn't pull the trigger, and he strikes out. So for Brush on the inning, they had no hits, no runs. There was no Bayfield errors, and there was no runners left on base. We have 4 complete innings in Brush. It's Brush 5, Bayfield 5.
On 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. On the first pitch of the top of the 5th inning, a long shot there, a double off the bottom of the fence from Jake Brandon, who's now 2 for 2.
Now it's a bat.
As Braxton Shelton is still on the mound.
24.
Had that pitch down in the zone, but that was tattooed and nearly left the yard. It's tied at 5, Brush and Bayfield here in the 5th inning. Here is Ethan Morris, a 2-run single, also singled his second time up. And the offering, fastball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. That was pitch number 63 unofficially for Braxton Shelton. 2-1 strike to ball ratio. The Bay Diggers trailed 2-0 early, a run in the first, 4 in the second, but then Bayfield countered with 3 in the third. And the offering, swung on. That ball is driven into left field. Caden Schwinn backs up, and it's off his glove. It's going to drop. And now to third, and rounding third is Brandon towards the plate. No throw. The ball gets loose up the third base side into foul territory. Oh, that's going to be scored a double error on the drop in left, and then
Now it's a bat.
the ball got loose. 2 errors on that play, no RBI, and Bayfield now leads 6-5. Yeah, that play should have been, the ball was hit hard, but should have been made in left. And now the Bee Diggers, again, a young team, trying to really recover from mistakes, especially that they made yesterday. The pitch, swinging a foul at the plate on the bender. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Hub Brandon, a fielder's choice and a single. He's 1 for 2. So Bayfield has taken the lead for the second time in the game.
Morris is a cleanup hitter, and he's a big fella. He's 3 for 3 on the day.
And the pitch, swag and a miss. Count is now sitting at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. With nobody out, 1 across here in the 5th inning. 6-5 Bayfield. Shelton looks back, and the offering. And the breaking ball is up and in. And the one thing that Braxton will not do is issue free passes. He's always around the plate. 1 walk today. He's given up 7 hits. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Ludgate. And Brandon strikes out. There's 1 down. And here is Cade Carlson, who was popped out and doubled. So he is 1 for 2. Well, you got to keep him at second here with 1 down and already 1 home. Shelton looks back, and the pitch swung on, grounded slowly towards short. Welland charges. Fields throws to first in time. Runner advances to third, but Carlson is retired, and there's 2 down in the 5th inning.
First baseman, number 10, Rhett Hoover.
Rhett Hoover is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. Yeah, just get out of this. Get your lineup. Ben Garrett will lead off the 5th inning. Get back on track to pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded right side. The first baseman, Woldridge, cannot get it. It's a base hit into right field. A run scores. Yeah, it took a tricky hop right there at the end. Little bit of a tricky hop. It's going to be scored a base hit. And it's now 7-5 Bayfield, and Hoover has his first hit of the game. Threw him a pretty good pitch there, but had some action on that ground ball on the right side. And the pitch is swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike to Isaac Ross, who is 1 for 2. Bayfield now has 8 hits in the game. The pitch swung on and foul straight back. Yeah, Braxton looks fired up now. He just wants to get out of this inning and get back to the plate. But again, Kevin, you know this. You're going to see this. You're going to see miscues, especially early on in the season. And we had 2 big ones in the first inning, and we have 2 more now. And so the Bee Diggers, which had 4 errors last night, have equaled that total. Fastball is low. Those are things you just got to fight your way through. You fight your way through the errors and hopefully pick it up at the plate especially when you have a young team.
They're a young team, and they're going to learn from it. They're going to get better from it.
The pitch swung on and lifted on the left side. The shortstop well and looking for it. Schwint, the left fielder, comes in. He makes the grab. And that ends the top of the fifth inning. But it was a tough one for Brush as Bayfield has taken the lead. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and a man left. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. The score, Bayfield 7, Brush 5 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Time for the Beat Diggers to rally as they trail Bayfield 7-5 in the bottom of the fifth inning. I'm John Beltran with Kevin Fergus. As Kevin mentioned at the outset of the broadcast, Bayfield's prom is tonight, so after last night's loss to Sterling 12-9, several players, I guess, it was an overnight trip then because this game didn't end until like 9:15, Kevin?
It was at 9:15, 9:30 right in that ballpark, and I think I heard there was somebody that had a plane out here, loaded those boys up in order to fly them back.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay. Well, that's accommodating because it's tough to take that 7-hour trip overnight. Okay, good. Here's Ben Garrett. He's been swinging a hot stick 2 for 2. And that pitch is a strike at the knees. And it is 0-1. Thank you to my friend Verna Maris hooking me up here. I'm going to need some sustenance. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball down the middle. A single and a double for Garrett, but the double was gift wrapped. It was a fly ball to left field that Ludwig did not see at all. The pitch in the dirt with the off speed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Ben Garrett. And the offering. Swung on and lifted towards left field. Ludwig has a beat on this one to his left and makes the two-handed grab. And there is 1 down in the bottom of the fifth inning.
It's probably a good thing he had his second hand up there. It looked like it snow coating on him, and very, very easily could have popped out for an error, but he did pull it in for the out.
Second baseman, number 12, Alejandro Maltos.
Here's Hondo. Well, thank you to Verna. This is awesome. All right, Hondo in the game is 0 for 2. Struck out and lined out. The pitch and the breaking ball is inside. Unofficially, Hayden Farmer is up to 92 pitches, so they're going to have to get to the bullpen here, Kevin.
Here real soon.
Yeah.
Get through this inning, and Brush might have a couple more innings where they've got somebody else coming in order to be able to throw.
Swinging a foul on the slow curve there, 1-1.
The one thing we've learned is when that happens, you have a 3 days, 3 games, you can end up having where you get into the bullpen, and if they don't have the depth there, then that could be advantage Brush.
Fouled back by Hondo, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom of the fifth inning. Bayfield with a 7-5 lead. They were down 5-2, but they've scored 5 unanswered runs, 3 in the third and 2 in the fifth. And the pitch. Fastball is up and away. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Along with the coach, Kevin Fergus, I'm John Beltran in Brush. First of 4 games today. And the offering swung on and grounded weakly up the middle. The shortstop, Brandon, charges, throws on the run low, and it's dug out beautifully over there at first base by Hoover, and there's 2 down in the fifth inning. Boy, very nice play on both ends. Yeah, you can't necessarily assume that that's going to be dug out. You know, that's certainly a skill that first basemen have to work on. Caden Moriarty will now hit in this spot with 2 down and the bases empty in the bottom of the fifth inning, hitting for the left side. Nice to see the Beat Diggers have a left-hand hitter. A lot of your Morgan County starting lineups very right-heavy. The pitch swung on it, drilled into deep right field. That one is along the line, and it stays fair. Now trickles foul. Or did it still? I guess it was foul all along. Wow. All right.
That was a loud foul ball.
Well, I thought it was fair right off the bat, but apparently it landed foul. All right. Oh, I got fooled again. We're at ground level. And if you ever try to broadcast at ground level, when the ball's hit in the air in the outfield, it's not as easy as you think. The pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat on a breaking ball to the backstop. It's 0-2. Two down, bases empty, the pitch. Outside with a curve. Obviously, I've been caught eating on air here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bayfield 7, Brush 5, bottom of the 5th inning. Laying down the sign is Demko. The left-handed hitting Cade Moriarty. Awaits the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. To Caden Moriarty, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see what Caden, with that open stance for the left side, is looking for. They might throw him a curveball here. 2-2. There's the curve swung on line, and that's going to be caught by the second baseman, Brandon, on a sinking liner. And that'll end it for the Bee Diggers in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-2-3 for Bayfield. Let's head to the 6th. Bayfield 7, Brush 5 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, 7-5. Now I'm wondering if that was Verna or Brenda who brought me that burrito. I think it might have been Brenda. All right. Even though Verna does great work, but now I didn't see who was putting it behind me. 7-5 Bayfield. Whoa. Speaker nearly took off my right ear. So thank you to my friend Brenda, and happy birthday to Brad Shelton, Braxton's father. I won't mention his age because it's younger than me anyway. Man, Brenda really did hook me up. Verna's hooked me up before, too. So. Bryson Wooldridge is a new pitcher.
Top of the 6th inning, right fielder, number 6, Isaiah Coleman.
Here's Isaiah Coleman. Hitting from the right side. And the pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. Braxton Shelton now at second.
We'll set the defense, and we got Hondo Maltos Garcia in left field, Carson Rule in center, David Wolf in right.
And the pitch swinging a foul to the screen.
In the infield, get Ben Garrett still at third, Nick Wellen at short, Braxton Shelton at second, Kyle Wellen at first, Bryson Wooldridge on the mound, and Hunter Ledgate behind the plate.
Breaking ball to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Bee Diggers trail 7-5. It was a 5-2 lead for Brush after 2, but then 3 in the 3rd and 2 in the 5th. Here for Bayfield, the stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout of Isaiah Coleman by Bryson Wooldridge. And there is 1 down in the 6th inning. Let's close the book on Braxton Shelton. Shelton went 5 innings, 74 pitches unofficially. Allowed 7 runs, only 3 earned. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, swung on and fisted on the ground on the right side. The first baseman Wellen tosses to Wooldridge covering for the
nice
out.
Play.
And there's 2 down. Excellent play on both ends for both Wellen and Wooldridge. So 2 down. Here in the 6th inning for Hayden Farmer, 0 for 3. Farmer still the pitcher of record here because he has not left the hill. And the offering. Swung on, grounded to first. Wellen has it on the 3rd hop, steps on the bag. And that's a very quick inning for the Bee Diggers defensively. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Bayfield 7, Brush 5. On 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, we got a new pitcher for Bayfield. That's probably Jake Brandon. Hard-throwing right-hander. So he comes in from his second base position. We'll see who's at second now. 7-5 Bayfield here at the bottom of the 6th inning. John Beltran with Kevin Fergus. Looks like at second is Isaiah Ross. Yeah. And then
Farmer's over at third base.
Okay. Okay. No, that didn't look like Farmer. Was he that short? Yeah, no. Farmer.
No, Farmer's at second.
But Farmer wasn't. I think they switched positions. I think you're right.
They switched.
He originally was over there. So now they have Ross at third. Okay. I guess they were confused once they got out there. Bee Diggers down to their final 6 outs. They've got to get some activity going.
What that could have been was they decided that maybe Farmer couldn't throw from third base to first after throwing 98 pitches.
Hunter Ludgate has walked twice. No official at bat as of yet. And the pitch. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 5 runs on 6 hits, 4 errors for Brush. They've stranded 4. 7 runs, 8 hits for Bayfield. 2 errors. They've left 4 on base. The offering swung on and lifted on the right side. Should be a routine play along the line now. Long run, and the catch is made in right field over there by Isaiah Coleman. Well, that wind was twisting the baseball away from him, but he was able to pull it in for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's David Wolf, a sac bunt and a strikeout. And the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Wolf, the number 8 hitter in this lineup. The offering. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Shortstop Brandon slings it to first for the out. And there's 2 down. Well,
now batting for your Bee Diggers, first baseman, number 13.
All of a sudden,
Kyle Wellen.
Bayfield pitching is getting on a roll here. Bayfield pitching has retired. 1, 2, 5, 8, 10 Bee Diggers in a row. And the pitch to Kyle Wellen is a fastball, a little bit low. He's hitting out of the 9 hole here. With the Bee Diggers down by 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's see, the last Bee Digger to reach the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Yeah, according to what I have, the last Bee Digger to reach back in the 3rd inning, although they're threatening right now. And the pitch inside was Ludgate with a walk. Back in the 3rd inning. He's the last one to reach. 10 in a row have been retired, but it's a 3-0 count to Wellen. And that ball nearly hit him. Carson Rule will step in after the walk to Wellen.
We were talking the inning before that Farmer was approaching 100 pitches, and we'd get into Bayfield's bullpen, and we're there. And, okay, great. Now we've got a runner on base. Let's see what we can do with it.
Here's the stretch and the pitch. That is a strike at the knees to Rule. Carson singled twice and struck out. I have to assume that Carson has watched Smokey and the Bandit. I know it's a movie. He's got this walk-up music. You got to go with it. It's the movie of choice with that music. Runner goes, and that's taken for a ball to throw to second, and that's going to be late. A slide there for Kyle Wellen ahead of the throw. Count is at 1-1, so a runner in scoring position. Yeah, that movie was so long ago, I was young. And that was 1978. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down. Bottom 6, Bayfield with a 7-5 lead. Carson Rule looking for his 3rd hit of the game. The stretch from Brandon. And the pitch up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's having a hard time locating the zone. I've got him for 8 balls and only 3 strikes.
That's what I got, yeah. The offering. Ooh, that hit him. Oh, I got him on the lower back. Well, now we have Braxton Shelton, who is 2 for 3 with a couple of RBI singles at the plate.
Braxton Shelton.
This is who you want at the plate. But you mentioned the wind is blowing from right to left, Kevin? Or I don't know, because I just wonder if it's going to play tricks with a fly ball. Maybe from left to right based on the first fly ball we had in the inning.
From the left field foul pole to the right field foul pole.
Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Braxton. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Belt high, it's 0-1. Both runners have reached with 2 down. 10 retired in a row by Bayfield pitching, but then a walk and a hit batsman.
Braxton's come up the last 2 ball games in the bottom of the 6th inning, and he's come through with doubles.
And the bender is extremely high. Throw back to second, headed to third as well, and there'll be no throw. Oh, that'll be scored a stolen base. I'm not sure what was happening there, but.
And Carson stayed at first, so we've got runners at first and third.
Well, a base hit gets you closer. A long base hit ties the game. A longer base hit gives you the lead. 1 ball, 1 strike to pitch. Up and away. Runner goes to second. The throw all the way through. And Rule is going to be out. Boy, they took a major chance there. And Carson Rule was cut down at second. And that ends the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We head to the 7th. Bayfield 7, Brush 5 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Let's head to the 7th inning. Now that I've been fed. Thank you, Brenda. 7-5. Bayfield leads. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge risk. Huge risk you take in the 6th inning. With a guy who's 2 for 3 hitting over 500, you already got a man in scoring position. And unfortunately, Carson Rule was caught stealing. See, I think the thought is that a lot of times when you got a runner at third, they say, well, they're not going to throw through to second because that might score the runner from third. But quite frankly, the runner that means even more is the trail runner because you're down by 2. If you're down by 1, that might make a little bit more sense. And the pitch is a strike tailing away. I'm John Beltran with Kevin Fergus. But, you know, that's the way baseball goes. You stay aggressive, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it hurts you. Pitch up and away to Jake Brandon from Bryson Wooldridge. Sack bunt, a single and a double. So he's 2 for 2, having a big game as Brandon. And he's looking for the save if he comes back into the game in the 7th inning on the hill. The pitch, and that tails outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, you used him quite a bit, Wooldridge, the previous 2 seasons, Kevin.
Yeah, I've liked the action on Bryson. Seems like he throws and he has a lot of late movement, and when he's on, he can end up tying up the hitters, especially when he throws on the inside corner of the plate.
Swung on and fouled after the 2-1 pitch was a strike. It's 2-2. 3, 4, and 5. Brandon Morris and Hub Brandon.
Coach Odell's used him in the starting role a couple times this year already, and that's good. Bryson has a good live arm.
Swung on and caught on a liner to his left. Beautiful play out at second base by Braxton Shelton, and there's 1 down.
But he can throw, and then he can come back the next day, and he can throw again.
You want to talk about action, Kevin? That had some twist on that line drive. Looked like an inside-out swing.
That was a nice play by Braxton Shelton at second base.
Ethan Morris swings and lines it into left center field for a base hit. That pitch was above the letters. And he's now 3 for 4 in the game. It's a 1-out single in the 7th for Bayfield. And for the Wolverines, their 9th hit of the game. And here is Hub Brandon, 1 for 3. A fielder's choice, a single, and a strikeout. Well, they're outscoring Brush by 2, out-hitting Brush by 3. And really, Brush's defense has not been, I mean, they had the 2 errors to begin the game, the 1 play. Other than that, it's been fairly clean. It's outside. But we know that 1 or 2 plays can make, it certainly did in the first inning. Those are 2 unearned runs. As we mentioned, Shelton allowed 7 runs, but only 3 earned. The stretch. Throw back to first, a lob there by Wooldridge. I mean, there's depth with this pitching staff. You got Wooldridge and Rule, 2 lefties, Shelton and Garrett, 2 righties, Wellen, who battled yesterday through less than 5 innings. The offering swung on and fouled up the right side and into foul territory and out of play.
Then you've got others. You've got Hondo Maltos Garcia.
Yep.
You've got Caden Moriarty.
Right. He threw yesterday as well.
Kyle Wellen can pitch.
It's just a matter of
good to have depth on that side of the ball. That's for sure.
Well, when you have depth, you don't feel you got to go all 7 innings. Toss back to first. Although Bryson does have a complete game this year.
You play 3 games in 2 days, you definitely need depth. And we were talking about that. Once you get to the playoffs, you definitely need that to be able to get through the 2 days. But, just in a tournament-like setting right here, you've got 3 games, 2 days. You've got 21 innings minimum. And you need to be able to have the arms in order to be able to get through that.
2-1. And the offering swung on and lined up the middle. The second baseman, Shelton, flips to second for 1, well into first, and that's going to be late. That must have hit off the end of the bat a little bit because even when it bounced, it took a strange hop on Braxton, but he still made a nice play, flipping to second for the force. And there are 2 down. 2 down here for Cade Carlson, who's 1 for 3. And the throw to first, runner takes off for second. Wellen throws over there high into left field. It'll be a stolen base. You cannot assume that would have been a caught stealing or a pickoff. So it's a straight-up steal there for Hub Brandon. But he's in scoring position for Carlson. You cannot allow this run because the Bee Diggers don't have a hit in the last 3 innings. They haven't had a hit since the 3rd. You got to get this guy out, or at least prevent Brandon from scoring. 2 down. And the pitch. Fastball is high. A pop out, a double, and a ground out for Brandon.
Ideally, what you want to do is brush on defense is be able to keep these guys from scoring, keep within 2 runs going into the bottom of the 7th inning.
Wild pitch way outside, and to third is Carlson. Or check that, yep. Brandon to third. Carlson obviously in the batter's box. Morgan Community College is there to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out at morgancc.edu. All right, so here we go. 2 balls and no strikes with a man at third, 2 down in the 7th. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Pulled the string, it looked like. And it's 2-1.
See if Bryson Woolridge can battle right here, be able to get through this batter, be able to set him down.
Swing and a miss, and a fastball tailing away. Nice pitch there by BW. He's thrown 21 pitches, 14 strikes, 7 balls unofficially. The stretch and the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he blows away Carlson, and that does it for Bayfield in the top of the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. The Bee Diggers need 2 to tie and 3 to win. As we head to the bottom half of the 7th, it's Bayfield 7, Brush 5 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the 7th, the bottom of the 7th. The Bee Diggers trail the Bayfield Wolverines 7-5. Brush's offense has been very, very limited, and that's an understatement in the last 3+ innings. Let's see if Braxton, who's 2 for 3, can get it started. And the fastball is low from Jake Brandon, who came into the game in the 6th inning, looking to close it for Bayfield. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that one bounces to the screen. 2 balls and no strikes to the starting pitcher today, now the second baseman for Brush, Braxton Shelton. Awaiting the pitch, here it is. And he takes a fastball upstairs, 3-0. And as you mentioned, Kevin, he really had struggles with his control. A lot of struggle with his control Brandon did in that 6th inning. Let's see if this is a take. That is, it's a fastball for a strike down the middle, just above the knees. Ball 3, strike 1 to Braxton Shelton. First of 4 games today in Brush on a gorgeous Saturday. The pitch in the dirt. And Braxton walks.
Lots of maturity shown by Shelton right there, where he's able to lay off some of those pitches that are close, but they were balls, and he's able to draw the walk because Brush needs base runners at this point in time of the game. They're down to the bottom of the game, and they need some base runners. They need some guys to get around and score.
Well, Nick Wellen is overdue. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Let's see if we can pick it up right here. The pitch. And that ball went behind him, skips right back to the catcher. The throw to second, Shelton's going to have to slide in. It was not a close play, but it ricocheted right back to Demko. And I'm telling you right now, if you're Bayfield, you've got to worry about Brandon. I mean, he has been really 16 balls and 5 strikes is what I got.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with that, John, too. And
how do you keep
he's not in the zone.
He's not even close. 1-0 pitch, and that almost hit him on the knees. 2-0. Yeah, you got to come in with somebody else. If you have another pitcher, if he doesn't get well and out, if not, you're going to almost allow the Bee Diggers to win this game without Brush having to do much offensively other than take pitches and maybe get one clutch hit. The 2-0 to Wellen. That's way outside.
That might be all it takes.
Yeah, they're going to have to get Brandon out. He has no confidence out there. It's hard to believe he recorded 3 outs in the 6th inning with only 5 strikes thrown, or 4 in that inning because he's got 1 here in the 7th inning. 3-0 pitch, and that's up and in. It's another walk. Yeah. Let's see. There'll be a visit to the hill.
They do not have anybody in the bullpen warming up. I imagine that the players that they've got on the field are the ones, if they're going to go to somebody else, it'll be one of these other guys that'll step up.
See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins, offering you a variety of banking needs, including agriculture and personal loans. And Colorado Plains Medical Center has experienced physicians and a highly trained surgical team trained in the latest surgical procedures. Explore what procedures are possible in your hometown. Colorado Plains Medical Center. Well, the conference continues, but Kevin, you're right. It doesn't look like they have any options. No, what's the option right now? Unless you take an existing infielder.
They're going to leave him on the hill. Probably their existing option is probably back in Bayfield getting ready for prom tonight.
Yep. You're not thinking baseball when you're getting ready for prom night. Maybe they are right now because they know their teammates are playing, but not for a while. And Bayfield plays right after this against Alamosa. Here is Ben Garrett, who's got a couple of hits. He's the winning run. And that one went way behind him, and it ricochets to the screen, and the runners advance. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'd love to see the Bee Diggers win, but not like this. I mean, they're just getting gift wrapped. They don't have to do anything. And it's a very lonely position. It's the loneliest position in sports on the hill. And the pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the inner half, 1-1. I mean, I want to see Brandon throw strikes so the Bee Diggers can earn this victory a little bit more than just giving ball after ball after ball.
I don't think Brandon throws from the stretch.
Swung on and grounded left side. Nice play by the third baseman. Ross throws to first off line, but the tag is applied. A run scores. Runner advances to third as Shelton crosses home plate, and it's now 8-7. Bee Diggers down by 1, so Garrett does drive in a run. But even that play was almost not made over there.
Now batting left fielder, number 12, Hondo Maltos Garcia.
Well, Kevin is at Hondo's moment here. All he's got to do is hit a fly ball into the outfield. Here's the wind and the pitch. Hondo takes it down and away.
Hondo is patient. He's going to get his pitch. And if he can barrel it up and be able to just get it up over the infield, we get that run in, and that's going to get us to at least the 8th inning.
Fastball's a strike. Hondo with a strikeout, a line out, and a ground out. 1 ball and 1 strike in the 7th. Tying run is 90 feet away. And the pitch, and he swings and fouls it foul down the right side. Obviously, foul it foul. 1-2. Yeah, took an inside outswing, tried to paint the right field line, but it's now 1-2. You got to watch out for maybe a hook here. I don't think Brandon's confident in his breaking ball, but nice job of Brandon at least coming back and throwing some strikes and reestablishing some confidence. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and popped up. Boy, he was protecting, but that was clearly going to be a ball. Count remains at 1-2.
The way Brandon has thrown, he could throw one to the screen.
Yep, no, there's no doubt about that.
And get Welland where he could at least challenge to be able to come across the plate at that point.
1-2 pitch in the dirt. Boy, blocked beautifully by Demko. That was nearly called there by the coach. 1-2. Now 2-2.
Demko made an outstanding stop.
He did. That could have been a run for the Bead Diggers. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 across, 1 out. And the pitch. And that one bounces in, another block by Demko. And he blocks it up the third base side. Ball 3, strike 2. And now the thing, if Hondo gets on, you got to be very careful about sending him to second on a straight-up steal. Because we saw that strategy backfired on the Bead Diggers in the 6th inning. 3-2 to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. The offering. Down and away. It's a walk. Boy, and poor Brandon. He's got a nice live arm, but he is struggling mightily to find the strike zone. And here is Caden Moriarty.
Number 20, Caden Moriarty.
I would think from the last inning that Coach Odell will not be sending
No, he can't.
Maltos to second base because the run at third is the one that would at least get you to the 8th inning, get you tied up. Need to do something in order to be able to see if Moriarty can get a base hit here.
Here's the other thing, Kevin. We don't have a lot of backstop area here. And we've seen balls ricochet right back to the catcher. If Welland breaks for the plate, that could be a little bit of a challenge for Brush. It's not automatic that you score on a wild pitch, especially with it's all boarded up, and it's almost plays like a racquetball court.
This is the second year that they've got the new boards back here, and yeah, it does ricochet back to the catcher. And there's been times where the catcher, all he has to do is turn around, gets the ball, and he's right there on top of the plate where he can make the play.
All right, so the situation is as follows. The Bead Diggers trail 8-7. Runners at the corners, 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. We had back-to-back walks to Shelton and Welland to begin the 7th. Shelton's already scored. Welland standing at third.
We got a re-entry.
Correction on the batter now.
All right, Bryson Wooldridge.
Bryson Wooldridge.
Will now hit. Bryson has struck out twice swinging. You know, and he's a good bunter. I wonder if they're going to try to squeeze him home. The stretch. Runners take their leads. And the offering. Fastball is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Hey, here we go, Bryson.
Third baseman Ross is playing one step
Would be
into
good
the
strategy.
The offering. That's a fastball for a strike, belt high. It's 1-1.
Hey, here we go, Bryson.
At third as well, and at first is Hondo. And the pitch from Brandon. Swing and a miss up in the zone. Took something off it. Yeah, you're not going to hit that pitch. Especially if you're not timing it out. 1-2. Well, the bunt possibility is now eliminated.
We just need something in play.
Pitch to Wooldridge. Swung on and lifted to left field. That'll score the run. To his left under it, making the catch as Welland tags up and will score. And Maltos Garcia slides in at second. He's in there. Wooldridge with a sacrifice fly. Dylan Ludwig makes the play in left. And we're tied at 8 in the 7th.
Now batting catcher number 4, Hunter Ludgate.
Let me tell you, that's a heck of an at-bat there by Bryson, because when you've struck out twice, and great base running from Hondo. Yeah, they're going to check at third, but there's no way he left early. No way. Hunter Ludgate can win the game for Brush. Tied at 7. I think I said tied at 8, but it's tied at 7. A stretch. They need an 8th run. The pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the inner half. Belt high, it's 0-1. We could have bonus baseball. Looking back is Brandon. And the pitch. Fastball up and in. Well, again, I'm glad that Jake Brandon started throwing some semblance of strikes. You want the Bee Diggers to, even though they were gifted a couple of walks there, they've had to put the ball in play to score the 2 runs. So that's what you want. That's what makes you a better team coming through in these situations. And 2 very good plays with the 2-strike contact there from Wooldridge and then Hondo advancing. The offering. That's down and away with a heater. Ball 1, strike 2.
2 balls, 1 strike.
That's what I meant. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You were just checking to see if I'm on target today.
Ludgate awaits. And the pitch. That's outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Already 3 walks issued in the inning with David Wolf on deck for Brush. The Bee Diggers trailed 2-0, led 5-2, trailed 7-5, have scored 2 in the frame. The pitch. And that's taken for a strike. Oh, I don't know why Ludgate was tossed that bad. That was clearly on the outside corner. He doesn't want to show up the umpire. In fact, he motioned to the umpire, hey, my bad. You know, he doesn't want to show him up. I think he legitimately thought that was ball 4, but it did hit the corner. The Bee Digger catcher has already walked twice today. The pitch, swing and a miss. Got him on the off speed. Ludgate strikes out, but the Bee Diggers will send this game into the 8th inning. 2 runs on no hits. No errors and a man left. We head to the 8th. Brush 7, Bayfield 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the 8th inning in Brush. We are tied at 7, Brush and Bayfield, the first of 4 games today. You know, that means, Kevin, they'll be playing baseball probably by 7:30. The last game's at 4:30. And if this game goes into the 9th, the second game, Alamosa and Bayfield, scheduled to start at 12:30. Nothing wrong with all-day baseball.
Baseball, not at all. No. The thing is, you got the Final Four going on this afternoon. I think the first game is Virginia and Auburn at 4, and at almost 7 o'clock, maybe a little bit before that, you've got the Texas Tech and Michigan State game. And I told my wife, I said, probably be getting home just in time in order to be able to watch the second game of that on the Final Four. But we've got exciting baseball here in Brush. 8th inning. It's good to be able to see Brush compete. Seems like they've been able to do that every single game this season, and they're just resilient, and they have a desire to be able to win.
Yeah, I mean, they've got 2-run losses to Faith Christian and Alamosa, and the pitch, swing and a miss on the off speed.
You know, with Wooldridge on the mound throwing from the left side, Bayfield has a number of hitters that are left-handers, and that's going to be advantage Wooldridge because probably left-handed hitters, they don't see left-handed pitchers that often in high school.
Right. Oh, without a doubt. Fouled off by Red Hoover. He's 1 for 3. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Bee Diggers rally with 2 in the bottom of the 7th. RBI ground out from Ben Garrett and a sacrifice fly from Bryson Wooldridge to tie the game. The pitch swung on and fouled on the breaking ball that was up in the zone. Count remains at 0-2. 7, 8, and 9 for Bayfield in the top of the 8th inning. Lefty to lefty. Swung on, grounded right side. First baseman Wellen along the line takes 1 step to step on the bag, and there's 1 down. 1 down in the 8th inning for Bayfield.
Third baseman, number 4, Isaac Ross.
Here's Isaac Ross, another left-handed hitter. The southpaw delivers. Fastball is a little bit low and away. Isaac Ross struck out, singled, and popped to left. The offering. That bounces to the screen. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Brush scheduled to play at 4:30 on 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com against Sterling. That could be pushed back because of the extra inning. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Shelton dives to his right, and it's a base hit. A base hit for Ross, his second of the game.
Now batting right fielder, number 6, Isaiah Coleman.
And for Bayfield, that's their 10th hit, 4 more than Brush. Isaiah Coleman has had his struggles. He's 0 for 3.
2 strikeouts.
Yeah, and he also had that bunt that was caught, that failed bunt that was caught by Ludgate. The pitch squaring to bunt, and he lays it out in front of the plate. Ludgate will barehand, throw to first in time. That will advance the runner. We'll call the sacrifice 2-3. See, here's what I do. Let's go back. When I go to out, sacrifice, bunt, and then that's where I move on. Oh, there we go. That's the way I
got it.
And then that automatically advanced the runner. So here we go.
Okay.
That's the way I just do that one. That's a little bit different than the other ones. Here is Alec Demko, the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the screen. Tried to tie him up. No balls and 1 strike. With a runner at second, Demko is 0 for 3. Wooldridge looks back. The lefty delivers in the dirt. Nice block by Ludgate. 1 ball and 1 strike. This will be a big victory for Brush. Again, they've got, I mentioned, a couple of close losses this year. And the pitch. Swung on, fisted on the ground. Nice play by Wooldridge to his right. Sets, throws to first, and that's it. Bayfield retired in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. Let's head to the bottom of the 8th in 1 minute. The score, Bayfield 7, Brush 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Davin Wolf will begin the bottom of the 8th inning for the Bee Diggers. 7-7, Brush and Bayfield. The Bee Diggers kept this alive with a run. 2 runs, that is, in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Wolf, Kyle Wellen, and Carson Rule against Jake Brandon, who has labored through 2 innings with only 16 strikes on 44 pitches. And when you look at the line, a strikeout, 4 walks. Bee Diggers don't have a hit against them. Line in the pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Wolf with a sac bunt, a strikeout, and then grounded to short. He is 0 for 2.
The longer he stays on the mound, he might get more comfortable to where he starts throwing strikes.
The bender's in the dirt. I was thinking the same thing, especially the way he ended the 7th and just threw that first pitch of the 8th.
That's what prompted that.
Yeah.
But yet, the thing is, then he throws the next pitch in the dirt.
Right. 1 ball and 1 strike to Wolf. And the offering, fastball is just outside. He didn't miss by much, but when your catcher Demko's got a backhanded just a tad, it's going to be called a ball. He's got to throw a strike here. Now Wolf is going to be 1 pitch away from walking, and that hit him on the left shoulder. Well, that's the type of game it's been for Brandon since coming in. Well, I have to believe now that Coach Odell
First baseman, number 13.
is going to have Kyle Wellen bunting. Here's Hunter Dunn running at first. We'll find out. That's just my guess. Because if you bunt him to second, then all of a sudden you got Rule and Shelton up there, and they have a combined 4 hits today.
They were getting to that point where we're going to flip the lineup over, and we should be in good shape where we ought to be able to get a run across here in the 8th inning.
2-step lead at first, and the pitch is going to swing away, take a strike on the inside corner.
Kyle Wellen walked his last time at bat.
Well, now let's see if he might bunt. I think he was going to wait for a strike, but it'd be ideal. There you go, scoring to bunt. And the offering, and that's taken just outside. Excellent take by the freshman. That would not have been that easy of a pitch to bunt, and it was just off the plate. You want to bunt at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 on, Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Brush and Bayfield deadlocked at 7. The stretch by Brandon. Welland squares to bunt and the pitch. And that's taken outside. Oh, the trap between first and second. Now the throw to second, and he's going to get in there. Dunn is going to get in there, but that was a base running miscue. The Bee Diggers catch a huge break. Dunn just kept going. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. I think Brush, certainly they have to improve their base running, at least from today. Here's the stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss. Took a short, choppy swing and missed it. It's 2-2. But then again, we've seen some good plays on the base paths. Hondo going to second on the Woodridge sacrifice fly was excellent. So it's a mixed bag. It's not like it's an issue. 2-2. Kyle awaits the pitch. Here it is. And he takes it outside. Another great take by the freshman, Kyle Welland. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Bee Diggers have just 6 hits in the game and don't have a hit since the 3rd inning, but they're 1 hit away from winning this game. The pitch swung on and popped up and out of play.
Kyle Welland had a good hack at that pitch right there. He just missed it.
I like his body language. You know, you look at certain players, you like their body language up there. You know they're ready to hit.
That's the one thing I see with these freshmen is they step in there like they know what they're doing. They've been there before, and they're not afraid.
And that's a walk on a high fastball.
Now batting.
Here is Carson Rule, a chance to win the game for the Bee Diggers. Jake Brandon has walked 5 Bee Diggers and has also hit 2 batters.
One of them was Carson Rule right in the middle of the back.
Yep. The stretch and the pitch. That is a little bit low with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. A base hit can win the game with Hunter Dunn at second. Carson digs in. The offering. And he takes a fastball for a strike down the middle. And the count is even at 1-1. 2 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning.
Runners need to be alert for any back picks or anything like that could take them out of the inning or at least get an out.
Pitch is down and away. Nice backhanded scoop there by Demko. It's 2-1. Well, but they don't have to be too aggressive here with nobody out. You figure just be smart. Don't run yourself into an out because you got a lot of lumber at the plate and on deck. Squaring to bunt, and he fouls it straight back. Boy, I think that's a great strategy there by Coach Odell, unfortunately. Now Carson's going to have to win it by swinging away.
Yeah, if you can get that runner to third base.
Well, if you get him second and third with 1 out, then you walk Shelton. I would think that would be logical.
I would think you would need to. Because all you got to do is just put the ball down in order to be able to get him in.
Yep, 2-2 pitch coming. Brandon delivers, and that's in the dirt, blocked by Demko. 3-2. The ultimate risk would be the runners going now on a 3-2 pitch, and I don't think that's going to happen because, that has the possibility of a triple play if the ball's lined at somebody. 3-2 to Carson Rule. And the pitch goes behind him.
Ball 4. Bases loaded, nobody out.
And here is Braxton Shelton.
2 guys coming up to bat that are hitting above 500. Next one behind him is hitting 300. Nobody out. As long as they don't hit into a double play, they should be able to get a score to where they can win this in the bottom of the 8th.
2 singles and a ground out for Braxton. And I think we're going to have a new pitcher. Yep. Yeah, we're going to have a new pitcher here. We'll keep it right here since right now we're looking towards the end of this game. With the Bee Diggers and Bayfield Wolverines tied at 7. Let's see if we can identify who that is, Kevin, out there. That's tall right-hander.
Your attention, please.
Hoover.
For the Wolverines, number 10, Brett Hoover.
Well, that's Hoover. But I can tell you, judging by his mechanics, it doesn't look like that's a natural position for him. Like I said, they're thin, but you got to have somebody that can at least try to throw strikes in this situation.
Yeah, it looks like he short arms the ball. Anytime you have somebody that short arms the ball, what they're doing is they're aiming as they throw to the plate, and you got a couple of guys coming up that should be able to either take to where you have a base on ball to force in a run, or they're able to put bat on ball in order to get that RBI to give you a game winner.
Well, we're going to find out momentarily what happens here.
Yeah, I think once we get a batter into the box, I think we might have an adventure here.
Yeah. That sometimes can change what happens. But as for right now, the bases are loaded. And again, the Bee Diggers have not had to put the ball in play. Dunn is the run that counts at third. Wellen at second, that's Kyle. And Carson Rule at first.
Yeah, I watched him throw his 8 warm-up pitches, and his arm slot has changed 3 different times.
You're not getting that analysis from anybody else other than Kevin Fergus, by the way. That's some good stuff. But that just tells you that he's not a natural pitcher.
Right.
You know? Braxton may be looking for his third hit. The infield has to play in. Tied at 7 in the bottom of the 8th inning in Brush.
Outfield is playing in as well because the sacrifice fly deep is going to score a run. So anything up over their heads is going to be...
Yep. The pitch. Swung on line. Base hit into left field. Here comes Hunter Dunn. Braxton Shelton delivers the RBI single, his third RBI. Happy birthday, Dad, as the Bee Diggers defeat the Bayfield Wolverines 8-7 in 8 innings.
From Braxton Shelton.
Let's take a 2-minute break. We'll wrap it up after this on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush Bee Digger post-game show brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Home Center, a proud supporter of all our area athletes. They'll serve you with all of your home, farm, and ranch supplies with 3 locations to serve you, Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. The Bee Diggers win for the 5th time this year, 8-7 over Bayfield. 8 runs on 7 hits, 4 errors for Brush, 9 left on base, 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, 6 left on base for Bayfield. The winning pitcher in relief was Bryson Wooldridge. The loss went to Jake Brandon. Time of the game, 2 hours and 17 minutes. And here's the way the game went. Bayfield actually scored 2 unearned runs in the top of the 1st inning. Anytime the runs are scored in the recap, that'll show in red. Ethan Morris, just talking to Kevin here on the iScore, with a 2-run single, giving them a 2-0 lead. Back came the Bee Diggers then as we scroll down in the bottom of the 1st inning. Braxton Shelton had an RBI single as the Bee Diggers drew to within 1. And then 4 runs were scored in the 2nd inning by Brush. Carson Rule had a run-scoring single, tying the game at 2. Braxton Shelton gave Brush the lead with a RBI single, his 2nd of the game. It was 3-2. Carson Rule would score on an error. And then on another miscue there, on that drop strike, when Wellen struck out, a runner came in. It was 5-2. But back came Bayfield as they tied the game in the 3rd inning. Ethan Morris with an RBI single, his 3rd ribby of the game, made it 5-3. Hub Brandon came through with a run-scoring single, and it was 5-4. Then they tied the game on Kate Carlson's double. And again, it was 5-5 after 2.5 innings. And then Bayfield would extend the lead 2 innings later in the 5th inning to 7-5 as Jake Brandon scored on a Bee Digger error. And then Red Hoover had an RBI single. But then a myriad of walks in the bottom of the 7th inning. And you had an RBI ground out for Ben Garrett. A sac fly from Bryson Wooldridge tied the game at 7. And then as we just saw there, in the bottom of the 8th inning, bases loaded on 2 walks and a hit batsman. And it was Braxton Shelton coming through with his 3rd hit. RBI single plating Hunter Dunn. Quite a game, Kevin, as we have the Kevin and Evan team here that'll be joining momentarily later on this week in Englewood with Brush at Ken Denver. Bee Diggers win that game 8-7, a much-needed victory because we talked about the tough loss last night when Brush fell by 2 to Alamosa.
Yeah, that was a tough loss to Alamosa. So this was good to be able to get this win against Bayfield. Bayfield was 4-5 coming into the game with their loss to Sterling last night, and they're a little bit shorthanded. So, just with that, Brush was able to gut out a victory, and they were resilient, and they just didn't give up. They just kept working hard in order to be able to get those runs across in the bottom of the 7th and in the bottom of the 8th.
All right, so here is the broadcast schedule for later today. First of all, you have Alamosa and Bayfield. That game was supposed to start at 11:30. That will probably go off at about 11:45, closer to noon. And then the next game scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. Might be on time, might be 2:30. And that would be Sterling. Check that. Sterling will take on Alamosa. That'll be the scheduled 2 o'clock game. And then at 4:30, maybe going off at 5, 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com. Not right here on 1010. On 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com, we will have the Sterling Brush game. Chris Bull-Braun will be with you. I might be able to join him for a couple of innings, but that will be coming up. The official start time at 4:30 could be delayed, so this is our only game of the day on 1010. The Bee Diggers will play on Tuesday right here against the Lyman Badgers, 4 o'clock. We'll have that game on KSIR and KSIR.com. And then Kevin and Evan will be in Englewood on Thursday for a 4:15 start when Brush takes on the Kent-Denver Sun Devils. So quite a morning. And by the way, I don't know if you know, when are we going to get this is not April weather, all right? So we're the 6th of April. I don't want the winter weather because we've had incredible weather here in the month of April, and I brace myself, Kevin, for what could happen here in the next week or two, knowing that this is really just too good to be true.
This is a nice weekend for baseball, and you just never know when you schedule these last May as to what April 6th weather is going to be. You got these two teams coming from 6 and 8 hours away from Alamosa and Bayfield. They come up here and they're treated to 70-degree weather while they're here. They're able to play some good baseball against a couple Patriot League teams in Brush and Sterling. And, the thing is with the weather, I think they're talking maybe Wednesday night into Thursday that there's going to be some moisture moving in. We just have to see where that all sets up as this week unfolds. But until then, we look forward to Tuesday against Lyman, Thursday against Kent-Denver. And Brush has the weekend off. I think next weekend is prom for Brush.
And
is that
for
correct?
Morgan. So, no Morgan County team, at least of those two teams, is playing next Saturday. So that'll be the case coming up a week from today. Outstanding job, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Rose Condas, for Kevin Fergus. I'm John Beltran. The final score here from Brush today in Game 1 of 4. And again, Brush and Sterling coming up at 4:30 on 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com. But as for this morning's game, the Brush Bee Diggers defeat the Bayfield Wolverines 8-7 in 8 innings on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.